Yes.
Not even for charity. Let's just do that.
We're live.
An 8 hour
So,
Famicast.
yes, I might be down. Might not. That's a long time.
It's okay. All the important people are here.
Yes, I think so. All right, well, let's go ahead and just get things started off. Hello and welcome to Famicast 74, your Famicast for late February 2016. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and today I'm joined by James Charlton.
Omae daredaro.
You know who I am. And I'm also joined by Ty Sugarts.
Come with me, friend, to Yoga Shangri-La.
Sounds like a good trip somewhere.
From Street Fighter?
Ty Sugar said yes.
Yoga Shangri-La, isn't that one of Dalsim's moves?
Yeah, though that was Street Fighter 4. He doesn't have it in Street Fighter 5. He's way different now.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that since Ty has been allegedly playing Street Fighter 5, we might hear a little bit about that. Ty might know a thing or two about fighting games. I'm not sure.
No,
but,
I've never played a game in my life.
he's new to gaming. It's true. So yeah, got another action-packed show for you here today. So we'll go ahead and kick things off with some new business.
Exciting.
Yes, and Ty, how about you go ahead and kick us off, man?
Okay. Well, this week I went through the arduous adventure of buying a computer in Japan, which is insane. Don't do it.
Right.
Right. So
Did you go to Akihabara and buy all the parts individually?
Actually, I went to Amazon.jp and bought all the parts individually, and
Wow.
I constructed this computer from nothing.
Amazing.
Seeded the processor. It was scary.
Is it sentient now?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It it built to recommended specs for Street Fighter 5, which came out. And I can put off buying a PS4 for much longer by spending more money on a PC.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I made that joke last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I can play Doom 4 on this when it comes out in a month or two.
Isn't it coming out on Xbox anyway, or?
Yeah, but come on.
Okay.
No, nobody plays games on Xbone.
Xbone doesn't have a fucking mouse. Right? Like Doom 4, it looks fast, and I gotta have a mouse.
So you're saying that my Windows 95 Explorer mouse doesn't work on an Xbone?
Now that you mention it, I wonder if it does support a mouse.
Better do.
Anyway. You could plug that into a PS2 and play Silent Scope with it.
Pro tips from Ty.
Yeah. Little known fact, Silent Scope on PS2 supports generic USB mice.
That's
Mices.
something else.
So that's pretty
awesome.
fun. It's not even documented, it just does.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Have you been playing that recently or something, or
No,
it's just
no,
something that's just been in your head for?
Yeah, it's just a funny thing I like to bring up when people talk about using a mouse on a console.
I respect that. I really do.
It's no Mario Paint, but it's way better than a DualShock.
Sure.
One of my favorite, kind of ironic accessory compatibilities is the fact that, all Microsoft keyboards work with the Wii, the original Wii, but it didn't work with the Xbox 360. I thought that was hilarious, because we pretty much with any USB keyboard worked, right? But
Yeah.
360, for some reason, they were dead against any mice or keyboards working with it, right? For some reason.
Yeah.
It's not a PC. Seriously, it's not a PC. Keyboards do not work. It's not a PC.
Yeah.
It's totally a
So,
PC.
Yeah, I'm sure I have plenty of stories of making things work or not work on various platforms. Whatever, let's put that aside for now.
That's the fastest sidetrack ever, I think.
Yeah. So before we talk about Street Fighter 5, I've also been super distracted by playing XCOM. Not the cool new one everybody's played, but the one from like 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
That's queued up in my list too. I'm
Who the hell is that?
Yeah.
don't bring attention to him.
Okay, I'm gonna have to change my lower third caption now.
My lower third caption doesn't work.
Can I still be the Irish guy then?
Yes. It's fine.
I
We
don't
have
know.
the.
I'm pretty sure there's some sort of taboo against British people saying they're the Irish guy now.
All right.
Wow,
We'll leave it at
that
that.
answers that.
Yeah.
So, let me tell you guys about XCOM. Maybe I talked about this game before, like literally years ago in my first couple of shows, because that's like the last time I played it.
hmm
Maybe. So anyway, the last couple of achievements I have in that game are kind of infamous. Okay, as you may have heard, this game has an Iron Man mode where you can't reload your saves. You only have like one continuous save, and every move you make is for keepsies.
Mhm.
And if you're not familiar, it's like a turn-based strategy game and resource management game. And
Are you playing this on what your iPhone, I guess?
it does exist on iPhone, I think, but no, I would never own an iPhone.
I like to wind tie up with Apple products.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. No, this is on 360.
Okay.
I heard it was on Humble Bundle. You may have had it in one of your Humble Bundle purchases.
That's when I got it.
Yeah. So
So Ty, you're playing this as like a warm up for the new one, like the one that's just come out?
yeah, I might.
Okay.
I wouldn't really call it a warm up when it's like torturous hardcore difficulty, but yeah. I'll let you know how it goes. Like so I'm playing through on classic difficulty, which actually means fucking hard,
Mhm.
and on Iron Man mode, which means you can't save scum your way through the game.
Hmm.
And I feel like
that you make all of us into troopers for your game and tell us which one survives to the end.
yeah, that's the thing everybody does on Facebook, right? I
Oh, is
haven't
it-
done that.
Does it
too many.
import your contacts or something?
No,
You can
that
just
would be
make your
that'd be a good feature. Yeah, you can name your guys. You can micromanage the heck out of them. You can change their features and hair color and stuff. I don't, but it's a thing you can do.
This is a minor sidetrack, but there was this iOS game that I downloaded. It was like a doctor's, like a operation game, and
Yeah.
like I said, it imported all your contacts. And I had to
Cool.
stop playing it because it was too traumatizing. Because it was literally like your mother died,
Wow.
but it had an actual name in it, and you would get like pop-up notifications. You know, like your mother is on the operating table, and then 5 minutes later, your mother died. Or it's like, Jesus Christ, I can't play this game. Too real.
Right. So I think I'm making good progress. I'm like 80% through the game. I actually did wipe out a squad, so that was not good. Like your guys level up a lot. They get new abilities, and you can get like really invested in a group where you can't just drop a bunch of scrubs in a mission because they'll get bulldozed probably. So you kind of want to spread your promotions around. It's kind of like Pokemon, you know.
Yeah.
You could just wrecking ball through the whole game with one, but like you might get in trouble later.
Actually,
Well,
Ty,
maybe not in Pokemon, but you will in XCOM.
Actually, Ty, the words that the phrases you're using there actually reminded me of Fire Emblem. You know, a game that's like just come out this week in the West. Like,
Right.
They've got that hardcore mode where you can't. If people die, they die permanently, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Kind of reminded me of that.
it probably plays very similarly, even though I've never played a Fire Emblem ever.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think anyone on this podcast does, do they?
No, I haven't.
I have Awakening, but
Here it comes.
the English version for crying out loud too. I only played it for like an hour.
Oh,
So
Okay.
they Bivens'd it.
it's bound to happen, man. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I got games to play. I just bought like this complete collection of Dragon Ball games that were on sale on Xbox Live. Maybe I'll get around to playing those sometime.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Uh, so that's XCOM. I'll let you know how it goes. Probably through tears over Twitter.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
From what I'm hearing from other podcasts and people who are playing the sequel, that I don't think it's as good as the first one, the one that you're playing. So
Oh well, hold on there. The one I'm playing is actually a remake of an MS-DOS game.
Which was badass, by the way.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah.
You could probably get it on GOG, or I know it's on Steam too. It literally runs through DOSBox.
With
But
a
yeah,
two,
it's
I
a
think
good game that people still play. The original like XCOM from like 1995 or whatever year.
right.
Yeah, and basically the new old one, the one I'm playing, it's like the same fundamentals. They just got rid of a lot of the micromanagement and a couple of gameplay mechanics, but like fundamentally, it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about Street Fighter V now that Cyrus is here.
Yes.
Sure.
Does it still say "Here comes the new challenger"? Or have they changed that?
I forget exactly what it says.
What does it say? Man, I've heard it like a million times. What does it
Oh,
say?
come on. God.
It's like, another fight is coming your way.
Something like that. That sounds familiar.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Please understand.
Well, nothing will ever top Guilty Gear's "Here Comes Daredevil."
Heaven or hell, Rebel 1. It's like, stop saying nonsense words. You can't.
Yo, like find a screenshot of like the Unib match starts and like read like all the gibberish on the screen. It's like a solid minute of reading of bullshit words that don't fit together.
So it's like watching like a Nico Nico video or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's
pretty
like
much is,
geeky
except
gibberish.
all of them think they can speak English. It's not Japanese characters.
Perfect.
Actually, people should send us their favorites on Twitter, or make their own up, which would be even funnier.
Yes, please do. Tell us, what do you think should be the next Famicast fighting game round intros?
Salmon dressing, let's eat.
Wow.
There you go. That's my contribution.
Tuna with bacon is a very important part of Street Fighter 3's legacy.
The Gorilla Fate is yearning. Okay, so
Anyway,
Street Fighter V. It has 16 characters. You can play it online. It has features.
I think
I like the way you're dancing around the subject here.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
everyone has heard at this point that Street Fighter V is woefully unfinished.
Yep.
Okay, Batman Arkham Knight on PC, or what?
So this is a really tricky subject, I think, with Street Fighter V. It's
Like the actual part where you're playing works.
I
like,
compare it more to Splatoon than Arkham Knight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like
So
when
it's
Splatoon
some
launched,
features.
it was shit all in the game. There was nothing in it. But the game itself was really, really good. So that's kind of what Street Fighter has going for it. The game is really cool.
They are going to patch stuff in for free, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
as time goes on.
Yeah,
Fair
that's what the bullet point features is. You won't have to pay for anything. I can see you grind all day, every day. It does have a really nice roster to start. 16 characters, right?
And all of them are really different, which is cool.
Yeah. Like, they're even different from, like, the old versions of whatever the character was.
What's the ratio of new to old?
How many are
I shouldn't
new?
say old, right? It's new to existing characters.
Let's see. There's, like,
I
Established.
think
There's
it's
like-
12 to 4, so like 3 to
yeah.
4.
Like, that's what it was in Street Fighter 4 when it came out. But a lot of the characters they brought back are, like, pretty obscure. Like, Street Fighter Alpha 3 shitlords.
Yeah, like our Mika has only been in one game thus far.
Yeah.
She was terrible in it, like unplayably bad in that game.
Yeah.
It was unplayably broken and unbalanced. But hey, let's bring Armika back. Why not?
She has those creepy internet fans that make
She
petitions
is
when
the
they
one who
take
does the butt slap that will
horrifying butt slap animations out of the game. What else? Karine.
Karin
She,
Kanzuki.
she has her fans too. Girl characters.
And then there's Birdie.
Birdie,
where-
this big fat fuck with some British accent that I can't place, but
Oi!
James would be happy to.
It's like what's great about Birdie is like that in this game he's this really big fat British guy. Like he's a punk and he's really fat and he's always eating. His mechanic is that he eats stuff. And but
Sounds about right.
in the previous game he was this really buff guy with tiny legs. Like he was just a really giant muscle man. And then in the game before that he was white. So every game they retconned him from being a white guy to a black guy, and then they retconned him from being a black guy into a super fat black guy. So he's had a good run.
Boy.
So it's all canon. They're all canon, those versions.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
it's a fighting game. Canon is very important. That's why Akuma is now a
Right?
main
They
character in Tekken 7.
explained it away in after the first change. He said, "Oh, I was sick before." It was like one of his random win quotes or something.
Wow.
Maybe they're basing him on Michael Jackson's life.
Except in reverse.
Yeah. Although Michael Jackson wasn't British by the time he died, so I don't know.
Right.
Might have been.
Not entirely.
So I haven't settled on a character that I like yet. I kind of like Vega or Claw, as the tournament guys say.
The claw.
Yeah, because the name changes in the different regions, and people
They
just
still
call
do
him
that?
Claw.
They
Yeah.
still do that, okay.
They still rotate the character names, so
Yep. He's good, but he controls different. Like I was playing some games with one of my other pals and also Cyrus. And they changed. Okay, so in the old games, Vega, you have to like charge moves like down for 2 seconds or back for 2 seconds,
Mhm.
and then you hit forward in the button.
Right.
And now they changed that also. It's like quarter circles and shoryuken motions, so you don't have to charge. But every now and then I try to charge a move anyway out of habit, and it's just, hey, guess what I just did? As
Okay, as
play
a
on
as a
YouTube.
fighting game scrub like myself, like I never understood how, like a down up charge, like down for 2 seconds and up moves. How would they ever be possible to be done in a kind of a tournament setting? Because it's such a you're just leaving yourself open so much. It's like you just
Well,
have to like pretend to crouch.
You hold down back, so you can guard while you charge, and then
Does that work even in the Street Fighter 2?
Yeah.
all of them. So that's kind of their playstyle design, that you're always blocking
Mhm.
until like you unleash these attacks. So you kind of
Right.
bide your time.
Yeah, so like if you're playing Street Fighter 2 or whatever, with Gao, you hold down and back,
Mhm.
and you can block most anything that way, and you'll have the option of doing either a Sonic Boom or a Flash Kick if you so desire.
Yeah, with like Guile's like Sonic Boom, that was pretty much easy because you just like you're blocking and then you go forward and do it. But like Chun-Li's or like Guile's, what is it called, Sonic Kick or whatever.
Yeah.
I could never do those well back in the day.
Well,
There you go.
Yeah. I was
Bad
never a
story.
fan of charged characters either. They're a very divisive character mechanic.
Yeah.
So,
I always, when I was young, I played charged characters in Street Fighter 2, and also Killer Instinct, the first one when it came out. They seem to fit me better.
Right. Orchard's a good one.
Oh, stop it. So,
but yeah. So me and Ty, we were at a Street Fighter tournament, mini like launch tournament where everyone was terrible at the game.
yeah.
And I was in the first game of the tournament and was defeated 2-0 straight away. And if if you're
Those are-
unfamiliar with Japanese tournament styles, you get one game, and if you lose, you're out of the tournament.
Yeah, single elimination, baby.
Wow.
So,
Did you lose to one of the guys that was in grand finals?
Did I? Yeah, no, I didn't.
Because I did.
Yeah, I lost to a guy. I was being coached by someone in the grand finals.
Oh.
Well, why didn't you listen?
Yeah,
Why didn't you listen?
But
Just
I'm
win,
raging
God.
because I played Armika. I love Armika. I think she's a cool character, but I'm garbage with her. And then after the tournament, I was kind of playing casual games, and I switched characters, and I trounced the guy that beat me in the tournament. And I'm like, oh my god, why didn't I pick this character instead of like fucking Armika?
Which country does Armika represent?
Japan, of course. She's the blonde wrestler from Japan.
Right.
She's supposed to be like that Japanese women's wrestling culture that's all up.
Oh, okay.
Really crazy, flimsy costumes, like even more like nonsense than the American WWE.
Yeah, just think Rumble Roses and you have Armika.
Is that the butt slapping one?
Yes.
Is it? So it's censored. Censored.
Censored, don't even
With
start.
gigantic quotation marks.
Is it really censorship if it's taken out before the game even comes out?
Yes, you're on the internet. Of course it is.
I want more ass in my fighting game, dude.
I think it's a shame though, because I actually thought her butt slap was great. It was she's such an insanely over the top character. Like her chest is ridiculous. Her mechanic is entirely about her butt. All her attacks are butt based. So like if you're gonna have a character like this in it, own it, man. Make her have the camera zoom in on her ass while she slaps it. It's the only butt with jiggle physics in the game. Like, you gotta own this stuff. But
You're telling me Ken's ass doesn't have jiggle physics? I'm out, man. I'm not buying
There
it.
are some horrific model swaps where you put Ken's model on Kareem's physics, and then it goes.
Oh.
You don't want to do that.
Okay, I might be into that.
Wouldn't he just look fat then? If his muscles here are like wobbling, wouldn't that just look like he's just out of shape?
There's some interesting muscle phenomena when you put like Laura, the really skinny breakdancer, on top of Birdie, the giant fat guy with the huge mouth.
Oh yeah, that's the Scrub Coats icon right now.
She turned into this weird thing. It's
Yeah, if you want to be horrified, just like Google up some Street Fighter model swaps. Look that shit up on YouTube.
So the interesting thing, like in relation to Japan, is the fact that there is not an arcade version of this. Is that true?
Very interesting.
Yes, there's a lot of disappointment and gnashing of teeth about that.
So are they doing that because they don't feel it's finished enough? Because they released it on the freaking consoles unfinished. So
I think Sony basically controls their budget since
right.
they paid for it.
Yeah, from what I gather, this game would not have been made without Sony paying for most of the game.
So it's a Bayonetta 2 type situation.
Yeah.
So that's why it's exclusively on PC and PlayStation. It's not on the Xbox.
But it's not like the arcade is going to be stealing, thousands and millions of yens from the console version.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
People are going to have both. They're going to have both, aren't they?
From looking at the game, I think they're trying to turn this into a League of Legends of fighting games. Like, they're really pushing it as an esports, always online league game.
Right.
Okay. But that doesn't actually work at the moment.
Well, it works for League of Legends, the insane player base they have all the time.
No. I mean Street Fighter 5. I mean.
Basic video game functionality.
Yeah.
So
Does
this
it work?
is what I mentioned about Splatoon. Is like, so Splatoon launched, it was very limited. You couldn't play against friends. There was kind of a limited weapon pool. It was small pickings. But the game itself was fine. Like, you had a single player, you could play ranked matches, it had some maps, it had some guns. And then to keep you over every week, it was like, was it every week? Every 2 weeks? They were giving you new guns to unlock.
Right. Something like that.
And as you ranked up, you unlocked new guns. You were constantly fed this stream of stuff. Like, even if you never used the guns, you were getting new stuff all the time.
Right.
Actually, I actually do have to eat a bit of crow there because actually friend matches were in there day one, but the private matches weren't.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
But I think I've played the private match like twice, like because you need at least 3 other people, right? And it's very hard to kind of wrangle that amount of people, time zone differences or whatever. I mean, I've had like me and one other guy take on 2 random people. That's probably like the easiest thing to do. But like I've never had like 4 people that I know against 4 others like strangers. It's it's kind of hard to set up.
Right.
And yeah,
Did you ask your parents?
yeah, they weren't around, so they couldn't they couldn't help me. But yeah, it's kind of funny. And the ranked matches, they came in. The ranked matches came in later as well, right? Because when a certain amount of people reach level 20, then they kind of unlock that.
Level
Yeah.
10.
This was the thing.
Was it 10? Was it? Okay.
There was always stuff coming.
Yeah.
And as you played online, you were getting stuff. You were ranking up. You got the ability to use new clothes. You got new guns.
Right.
Even if that stuff was already in the game, you were constantly getting it from playing online.
Right.
But Street Fighter doesn't have that. All it has is, please wait till March. Then you can unlock stuff.
Oh, shit. So but the currency is going to carry forward, right?
Yeah, but at the moment, because you can't use it for anything, you're just accumulating it. So it's...
Oh, it doesn't have a shop?
The shop is there on the menu,
Yeah.
but it says, come back in March. There'll be a shop then.
That's brilliant.
So this is what, like, when this stuff rolls out, it'll be perfect. It'll probably be one of the greatest Street Fighters ever made. It's going to be feature complete and amazing.
But
But
at the
right
moment, it's the please understand version.
Yes, it is severely malnourished. I'm an English teacher. But,
Interesting.
Whatever.
No punishments and ranks for rage quits.
yes, this is great. So,
Whoops. Don't
You
ever
just-
do this if you make a video game.
yeah, so you can just quit any of your matches. Like, if you're losing a match, just quit. There's no repercussions for you. You
Was it-
lose no points.
Cyrus or Ty or Scrub Quotes, one of you 3 quoted, like, somebody said, like, and somebody's writing down the names of everyone who rage quit and he's going to do something to them.
Yeah, so Bailey is this guy.
Yeah, Jabali.
He's
he's,
a big name in the fighting game community.
And he's also playable in Dive Kick.
Yes.
Great
So-
game. I played that the other weekend. Fun.
Oh, yeah.
And he runs this tournament called CEO in America every year, and that's coming up soon. And so he's the main, like one of the main TOs for that tournament organizers. So
He is the organizer.
He is the guy. He
Whenever he
makes
wins a round, his head gets bigger.
And so
That guy,
he's
yeah.
playing online ranked, and every time he gets a rage quit, he's writing down the names of everyone who rage quits on him, and he's comparing it to the list of people who have signed up for CEO. And if the names match, he's disqualifying them from their first game, so they get an auto lose if they're rage quitting online. So,
Cool.
It may be in jest, but then again, it may not.
yeah, I'm totally up for him. He's already has 2 announced on Twitter. Like, you 2 are getting auto disqualifications from your first games.
Have either of you 2 rage quit?
Nope.
Alas, no. I don't
Okay.
have.
I haven't even played any ranked matches. I've just been playing the unranked ones until, they fix that probably. Or I settle on a character, then I'll probably hop in. So I've been just hopping all over the different characters, like trying to get a feel for them, see who I like.
Yeah, I like some of the new designs. Like Dalsim looks pretty cool.
Yeah, he's cool and fun in this game. I like him a lot.
So have either of you guys spent ridiculous amounts of money on new fight sticks?
No, I bought a PC so I could use any fight stick I want.
Give a ballpark figure. How much do you think this stick cost me?
Is that it? Actually, hold on. I can't see that. Let me.
Oh shit.
Okay.
This is my Fohammer Skullgirls arcade stick.
Jesus
Those are
Christ! It's like a
designer
Wii.
of Skullgirls.
It's like a Wii balance board size.
Yep, it's pretty big. And so I got this in like the Skullgirls Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah.
And it was like that tier was $7,500.
Yeah.
No, this was $5,000. And it was knocked down to 4,000. So
Christ on a cross, man. Jesus.
Oh, you
that
say
was
you actually paid that, or?
I paid that, and but there was a bunch of other stuff too. That was that tier.
Yeah, Cyrus appears rather plainly in the background of the game. Like he's clearly identifiable.
I was going to say, Cyrus, like 15 years ago, I spent that much cash on a used car.
Yeah, where did that get you, Danny? Where's that car now?
You're getting a good point.
Where's that car now, Danny? Cyrus has still got his fight stick. You
Yeah,
have
got a
it.
good
right
point.
here, 2 years later.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Well,
Well, just wait until my starring role in Barclay Gaiden 2.
Looking forward to it. So, do you guys got any closing thoughts on Street Fighter V as it is right now?
If you want to play single player, don't buy it yet. Flat out, don't buy it.
If you want to play single player, you're subhuman garbage. Yeah, I mean, I like the direction it's going. They just need to, fix the rage quitting, and we're good, I guess.
Okay.
I've just imagined a hell for Ty. I think that's playing Subspace Emissary on Smash Brothers Brawl for the rest of his life in eternity.
With the Wii
Yeah.
remote, not turned sideways.
No, yeah. That's Ty's hell, I think. Like with people like poking pitchforks in his feet while he does it, something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, one other closing thought I'll give, and because I've said a lot of bad stuff about the game, I think the game is good.
Yeah.
And one thing as well that I think Capcom are being really surprisingly fair about is you earn in-game money, like Splatoon. You earn your credits. You can buy stuff with it eventually, and you can use those free credits to buy new characters as they release. So all the DLC characters you can buy with in-game currency, and like the prices are super fair for those characters. Like even playing the very limited single-player stuff that's in the game, I've earned like almost 400,000 credits.
Yeah, didn't they say Yeah, isn't that more than enough to buy the next character?
Each character is 100,000 credits, so
Really?
I can buy the next 4 characters for free, not even having finished everything that's single player right now in the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I think Capcom are trying to undo their, the mistakes that they made in the past. Like paying for DLC on the disc, things like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you
That
playing?
would-
Fighter Cross Tekken hurt Capcom a lot.
Are you guys
Oh.
playing the English or American or whatever versions?
Yes.
Yeah, UK. It's got full language support for all regions, though. You can swap it into Japanese voices and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I wanted to pay for it with my PayPal money through Steam since I had a bunch of money sitting on my account. So
Selling
like
all
a-
those body pillows on eBay.
yeah, right. So there was like a checkbox somewhere that said I verify that I live in the United States, and then after that I got an error. So I got on my proxy and redid it, and it worked. And I definitely bought the American version, but it let me register my Capcom ID thing as Japan region, so that was good. Cyrus, I believe you're Ivory Coast.
Yeah. One last Street Fighter story before Danny strangles all of us.
No,
Is
go ahead.
No, this is good.
So I'm Irish. You may have known this. Same as James over there, brothers in arms. And,
Not anymore.
so the Irish flag is green, white, and orange. Green,
Is
white,
it?
gold officially. But also the Ivory Coast is orange, white, and green. So it's
What
the
about
exact
India?
same-
You should have
India
been
is like whatever orange, white, green with the blue.
Doesn't
in the
matter.
middle.
Doesn't matter.
But Ivory Coast is the exact same as Ireland, just flipped. It's like literally the same ratio of color size. Everything's the same. And when you select your your flag, like you pick your country when you make a Capcom Fighting Network profile.
And they don't have an Irish one?
They do have an Irish one, but the flags are just put in any random order, apparently. There's just no rhyme or reason to what they're listed in.
Mhm.
So, in their ecstatic rush to finally play Street Fighter V, half of Ireland signed up as Ivory Coast accounts. And once you sign up, you can't change it. So,
Wait, you mean it just has the flag but no text telling you what country it is?
yes.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So there's like this big thread in the Irish fighting game like Facebook group where they're like, dude, we all have the wrong flag. What the hell are we supposed to do with this?
I would love it if there were some Americans that were accidentally like Malaysian.
I would have done that.
Because it's the same, but they just got like that kind of picture in the middle, right? That'd be great.
So,
Man, that's fantastic.
The Irish guys had to like send an email to Capcom UK and be like, hey, can you like fix all of our flags because we made a terrible mistake. So they're sorting it out. You have to like email this private email at Capcom UK and they'll switch your flag for you.
And you just get a response saying, you Ivory Coast people crack me up.
Yeah. So now the Irish guys are like, anytime we see an Ivory Coast flag pop up, there's always be that question, is that guy actually from the Ivory Coast or is he just a dope like us?
Well.
It's not even a real country anyway. Good.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
So, we were talking about the games I was playing, so that'll wrap that up, I guess. See me in Street Fighter 5.
Cool.
Killer Instinct Season 3 launches next month. I'm
sure we'll hear about it for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we'll go ahead and continue on with new business. And I'll go ahead and continue on, if you guys don't mind. Thank you.
Whoa.
Here all night. So last time on the unlive episode of the podcast, I talked a little bit about Detective Pikachu, and since then I've actually went on to beat the game, and actually have a review up on NintendoWorldReport.com right now.
7.5.
Yeah, and I gave the game a 7.5. Please read the review so you can actually see exactly why and listen to what I'm about to say. So, I think during the last episode I kind of gave out like the basics of the game. Like it's basically like a kind of like a point and click adventure type of thing, and you have a talking Pikachu that is walking around with you. But the thing is here that this Pikachu could only hear or be heard by your character, Tim Goodman. Like everybody else around is like, what is this Pikachu doing? It just sounds like he's going like Pika Pika, but it's like a deeper, kind of more masculine voice than the regular Pikachus. But
Pika Pika.
Basically, there's a segment of the game like towards the very beginning where he's trying to talk to some woman, and it's just like Pika Pika, and she's like, "What? Get away from me!"
I like the meme of like there's that Detective Pikachu's dropped something on the floor and somebody's written a comment like, "Oh, I've just dropped my massive condom from my huge dong on the floor," or something like that. It's like, I don't know what the actual item is supposed to be in the game, but
that was actually cut.
Like.
That was actually a cut from the original game.
Okay.
No, but yeah, and having beat the game, it probably takes something like somewhere between 6 to 8 hours. It's not a very long game, being a downloadable title on a 3DS and all. But I think it was good. I really enjoy like the presentation aspects of it. I thought the visuals were very nice. A lot of attention to detail there too. Even though the levels and stuff, like the little areas are kind of small, which I touched on last time. I mean, they're full like 3D, but it's still from like a fixed perspective. So that can kind of hide and make it easier to make it actually look pretty good. And character models are all pretty well done, especially when they start zooming in and you can see like the character models like talking and stuff like that. It's all pretty well done, lip syncing and all that type of stuff. Even like little simple like details where like the character Tim, he has like a hoodie on and he's running around. You can see like the hood kind of like bouncing as he's running. So I mean, it's kind of like, wow, this is on the 3DS and this is like a downloadable title. There's some like full retail games that don't have this kind of detail.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Pikachu. Like his mouth moves really organically when he talks.
Right, and so I think in some of the earlier parts of the game, I think it's like FMV, but like other parts, it's actually like from what I can tell, it's like in-game engine type of stuff that they're using. So it looks, quite nice. And but yeah, I mean, what it really comes down to in this game is the story. It's just, when it comes down to it, it's just not that interesting. It's really simple, and with the game that's meant for kids, I guess it kind of makes sense. You don't want to have the game that's like, Phoenix Wright
I think
level.
you
I do, but the kids, I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore, so I can neither confirm nor deny this. But yeah, so it was kind of disappointing. Kind of a little bit of a shallow story, but in terms of everything else, presentation, gameplay, all that stuff works out pretty well. And even in terms of gameplay too, like I really like what they do with the touchscreen. There's a lot of really critical information that you need to access on the touchscreen. Like, for example, if you're trying to solve a case, there's a lot of little menus that you can access via like digital buttons to see like items in the case, characters you've come across, Pokemon you've come across, what they've said, and stuff like that. And there's a Pikachu that's always flashing. Well, not always, but sometimes he'll occasionally flash, and you'll be like, he'll tell you something that might be relevant to the case.
Wait, I thought this was supposed to be for kids. What do you mean he's flashing people?
He's Pikachu, as portrayed by Danny DeVito. So
what? What's the matter with you? So, Danny, what would you say was the most kind of like, oh, come on, that's bullshit kind of like puzzle thing?
So the one thing that really kind of disappointed me is that a lot of the time you have to actually go back. Okay, so I'll back up a few seconds. So let's say you're at the beginning of like a case, and you see, like, for example, there's this one portion where I saw like this stick on the ground, and it's just like there's nothing else on the ground around this. There's a stick, and you can go up to it and press A on it, and it just says, "Oh, it's a stick." Well, that's weird, And it's like, okay, why can't I not pick this up? Because you're thinking in your head,
Right.
I could probably use this later on at some point. And then there's like other things too, like rocks and a couple of other different things, but you can't pick up these things until later on in the game. And it's always kind of like, it just kind of like pads gameplay time in a way, because later on in the game, I mean, these areas, like I think I said in the last episode, they're not like super huge, but it's just annoying enough. You're like, okay, that stick's all the way over there. I gotta walk all the way back over there, get this damn thing, and maybe try to put this together with this other thing and try to make something, or something like that. It's like, it's just kind of annoying that you have to kind of go back and do this type of stuff, or sometimes you have to go back and like talk to people like so many different times where I don't know, sometimes they're not even saying really that interesting of things. It's just kind of lame. And
is there a limited inventory, like you can only carry a certain amount of things?
No, it's from what I can tell, it's
infinite.
You can carry up to a lot. You could carry a lot of things. It depends on the case.
There's no reason why you couldn't pick up that stick, other than they just don't want you to.
Exactly, because later on you pick up the stick and you have it on top of all the other stuff you already have anyway. So, yeah, it's just kind of silly.
That sounds more like a bug, actually, or I don't know if that's part of the game, but...
No, I don't. It's kind of like, what, I think maybe maybe you were talking about this last time. I haven't played a lot of like adventure games, really, but it's kind of like kind of like an adventure game type of a thing where...
Yeah, like I was going to ask, like... I don't understand how you play this game. Just listening about it, is it like a point-and-click adventure or what?
Good question. So with this game, it's on the 3DS, and you're actually controlling around this character in like a 3D world via the circle pad. So you're controlling him around, and you can interact with things via the A button. And when you press the A button on different things that are, that could be highlighted, let's say, I don't know, some like a bookshelf or something, it'll give you information about it. Or
it's a fixed camera, right? So it's kind of like Resident Evil almost.
Kind of, but it's not like dramatic or anything, really.
Right.
So does that make sense, Ty?
Yeah. So it's kind of like an old point and click, except you walk around instead of moving the mouse.
Basically, it's kind of like the Telltale Games type of stuff, except for the camera view never changes.
Okay. I keep thinking of like the first couple of Hamtaro games that I was made to review.
Never played those.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my god.
Good question.
Okay, I think I get it.
So, Yeah, I mean it's not a bad game presentation wise. It's pretty phenomenal actually. Voice acting is really fun, and the things that Pikachu's just saying every once in a while is just hilarious. So I think that stuff's great. It's just kind of the story stuff and some of the little minor annoyances with backtracking. This is kind of annoying. So
Is the
but,
ending satisfactory? Does it
I
wrap
I
things
won't say I won't say anything about the ending because I just won't say. I guarantee maybe this game will probably come out in the West. So you guys out there right now in America, Europe, Australia, wherever you are. Outside of Japan, I think this is something that's going to come to your guys' territory because I think they've sunk way too much money into this to let it just live and die in Japan.
Danny, I didn't mean. Sorry, I didn't mean tell me the ending. I just meant, is the ending satisfactory? Are you happy with the ending? That's what I meant.
It's okay.
It's all right.
okay.
Okay, brilliant.
Has a Pokemon game ever not been released, aside from like Pokemon Green?
Mhm.
Has one ever not been released in the West?
Even that Nobunaga one got released, right? Like
Yeah,
Pokemon
it did.
Conquest.
It did. That's a good question. Yeah, most all of them have, right? So I think the chances are even if an overwhelming majority of them have, most of the ones that most people know about have been released in the West. So chances are pretty good you guys are going to get this stuff over there. So
What about Pokemon the movie, the game, the fighting game?
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Pokemon fighting game, never gonna happen.
Never.
Yeah. Well, one other thing I wanted to touch on with my new business, just here really briefly, is I haven't talked about this for a few months, but I'm an avid player of Star Wars Battlefront on PlayStation 4, and here just a couple of days ago they had a minor slash maybe major update where they fixed a lot of like bugs in the game, and they added like a couple of new maps and stuff. And so I've been kind of, I've been playing that since the game launched. I usually play almost every day for a couple of matches, maybe half hour, hour every day or something.
Is
And,
that the episode 7 map?
No, well, that's one thing. And
Okay.
so with that map, they actually made it so it's not like DLC. They actually added it into like a regular install of the game, which I remember at one point when I was playing, I did not have it installed. So every time I was trying to get online, it would take forever because the majority of the people had the thing installed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was very limited to how many people I could actually play with, so it took a really long time to connect. But
Actually, you mentioned so it got a bunch of maps. So I've seen this around before. It
Well,
has like four
a map.
planets. But like, so each of those, like, there's Jakku, there's Hoth, there's Endor, and Tatooine. I think there's the four.
Solist,
Solist,
Charlest.
yeah. So those five, are there like different variations of each of them, or is it just those 5 maps, or what?
So there are different gameplay modes and stuff like that you can do. Like there's the one that I play the most of, and almost exclusively, it's called Walker Assault, where you're trying to stop the big walkers from coming through. But there's other ones too. There's completely different. There's something called Fighter Squadron, where you're the ships, but you're on like these different planets, fighting rebels versus the Empire and stuff like that, and just exclusively in ships. But there's also other things too, like a hero something or other, where you're like maybe one guy's a hero, one of the hero characters like Luke or Han, Vader, Emperor, whatever, and you're like facing other people, like normal type of people that are trying to bring you down or something like that. There's also something called Droid Run, where you're trying to, I think it's kind of like capture the flag, but it's like a moving capture the flag. So I think there's quite a bit of variety with the gameplay, but
do you have to just chase C-3PO as he
it's like
runs through the desert? What is that?
If you're familiar with Star Wars, it's like a gonk droid from A New Hope, the little boxy droid that they made a really rad action figure of back in the 70s.
Gonk droid, because it says gonk.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just like a rubbish bin turned upside down, isn't it?
Basically. So, but yeah, I'm still having a lot of fun with the game. I did play a new map today, the Hoth on Twilight, which is it's a completely new map. I thought they were just going to take the original Hoth map that they had in the game, which is pretty like wide open, and it's more or less kind of what you look at Empire Strikes Back. There's like all these trenches and stuff set up, and there's walkers like going towards like the rebel base, and a lot of like guns and turrets and stuff set up all over the place. But they completely like had a different stage, and it's nighttime and it's snowing, so that makes it really difficult to see the enemies.
And did we actually like change the terrain? It's actually like a new map. Or
Yes, it's a new map. They're
so
like
that's the kind of thing I was wondering. Was it like were there variations of the actual geometry for each location?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you go from like Hoth to Tatooine. I mean, there's like for example in Hoth, there's like a lot more really wide open space, and like they have to have these trenches. But even with that, there are like there's like a rebel base inside of like the mountain essentially, and you can like go inside of that. But then you go to like Tatooine, there's just like a lot of just regular mountains, and there's just a lot of like little canyons and stuff like that. But there's still like most of the stages have some kind of like caves or something like that. Indoor it's just a forest, and it's extremely lush and it looks fantastic. But you could even get up in like the Ewok like walkways, and you can even see Ewoks walking around. I think apparently there's some Ewoks that are flying by in the hang gliders. They can hit stormtroopers, I think.
Can you kill the Ewoks?
You just shoot them and they like run away. Same with Jawas too. You shoot them and it doesn't affect them. That's unfortunate.
Assume they run away and die off camera from their wounds.
Yeah, in their house.
Good. So Danny, to bring this even slightly towards Japan,
yes.
do you see many Japanese players, or is it even possible to know where people are from? Or?
Well, you look at someone's name and it's like, Suzuki or, Yusuke. I mean, I'm pretty sure these people are.
573.
Yeah. So,
trailing numbers is the staple of the Japanese username.
Exactly. So you see a lot of like.
I was going to say, isn't that more likely to be like a weeaboo than an actual Japanese person?
That calls himself Daisuke857. Yes.
Yeah. Could happen, right?
It might.
In my experience, Japanese people's usernames are nothing like their actual names.
Well, that's a good point. I might be playing with a bunch of fakers.
Yeah.
How dare they? I am shocked at Famicomplicated that people would use weird nicknames.
Yes. Exactly.
Hey, I use my real name on Twitter. That's just my handle.
Yes.
And on Splatoon, I'm James. So screw you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that's pretty much it.
Cyrus, whose real name is Cyrus, right?
Yeah, this guy. But no, in all seriousness, that's pretty much going to do it for my new business. I mean, yeah, I still like Star Wars. I'm really not a big fan of this new Hoth stage in the dark where you can't see the other players. But yeah, hey you Pikachu. God, James, you're getting into my head.
Are we all gonna play you, Pikachu?
I think was I trolling you in the thread for that?
That was you. My review.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
The forums are alive. Barely.
Yes. So, all right, that's gonna do it for me. So, let's go ahead and move on to Cyrus. You're not going to be last this time.
Oh man, amazing.
Hasn't he already been?
No, it was Ty talking about Street Fighter. Now I get to talk about Street Fighter.
Here we go.
Tylee barely said anything about Street Fighter. It was Cyrus the whole time.
Pretty much.
Hey, Danny,
I can jump in on my Bravely Second. He loves RPGs, right?
Yeah, man, I love
Danny,
RPGs.
What? Danny's gone.
I'm here.
Danny, edit point for the audio stream. Have you got the video so it's automatically changing between everyone when they talk? Okay, because on mine it doesn't do that. When I've got you selected, it's only you or whatever. But
it should be doing it.
Yeah,
so.
it's on my end
anyway. On your screen, it's doing that, right? Danny?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, edit in.
Got it.
So while I did play copious amounts of Street Fighter V, I also got the Bravely Second demo for 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bravely Second has been out in Japan for like a year. It's not a new game here.
Cyrus, I got it for Christmas. It was like 1,000 yen.
Yeah.
Where is it now, Danny? Where is it? Show me it. I bet it's right behind you on your shelf.
It is downstairs somewhere. I don't know.
Like.
So I go into like Book Off. Book Off is a chain of like Japanese secondhand stuff, and you go in there. It's great if you're not from Japan. It's such a novelty the first few times. They've got like NES games and everything just everywhere. You can buy it.
Shopping spree.
Yes. So there's one near me that has an entire shelf of just Dragon Quest 1 games for the NES. And
Ty, have you ever been to Hard Off to get your computer hardware?
Not for computer hardware, but, stuff.
I was in Hard Off last week. I sold like 8 anime figures and got like $280 equivalent.
I thought you said 280 yen. So like,
I was gonna say,
I got like Niman Hachisen or something, or Hasen.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yeah. So so every time I'm in like book offs and stuff, I see these Bravely Second special editions and Bravely Second, and they're like for nothing. And I'm like, oh man, I should buy that. But my Japanese is really terrible, especially reading Japanese. So not a hope I could play an entire RPG.
We do have some voice acting in the game.
Yeah, but that's also in Japanese. So I've always held out for the English on this one, and so demo finally released in EU, and it's kind of cool because they did this with the first game too, where the demo is not just a snapshot taken from the game. It's like its own standalone. They wrote their own story for the demo. It's just like it's a prologue where you play as some of the characters from the full game, but it's set before the full game, or kind of to the side of the full game.
Right.
But Danny, if you remember, like Famicast Season 1 or whatever, there was a lot of Bravely Default 1 demo talk. They had the AR card demo, and then they gradually built up to an actual playable demo.
I think I wrote impressions on every single one of them. So,
Yeah, I usually skip that AR card bullshit. I have never enjoyed it.
That was like one of the first demos I had at Tokyo Game Show back 5 years ago.
Cyrus, you're thinking in 2016. This is like 2011, right?
Yeah.
It was cool back then.
Like even this demo, this Bravely Second demo, has the AR function where it tells you go to this website on Nintendo.com and and it will show you an AR card. Then use your 3DS to look at that symbol.
Mm-hmm.
AR cards are alive and well in Bravely Second.
That's why you go to Tokyo Game Show as a media member, and you get like a special card, and you can put it on your desk as opposed to on your computer.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
They came in like, I think Bravely Default, the original, came with like 1 of 5 cards. So.
What a bunch of bullshit, right?
Gotta catch them all.
But so this demo, it touches everything that's in the game. It gives you the AR card stuff. It shows you a bunch of the jobs. It shows you how the game runs, and it's good. It's more of the same. So I think like everyone again probably already knows that the Bravely Default that we got was like the super remix version of the Japanese game.
For the sequel.
They fixed almost everything.
So the original game came out, and then like a year later, they re-released the same game with all these massive upgrades to make the game run better. The story was better.
Right. I mean, basically, just a lot of like balances for some of like the classes and stuff like that too. I was talking to Matt Walker. Cyrus, you don't really know him. But formerly of the Famicast, but I think he played the original Japanese version through. I only played for a few hours, but he played that the whole way through, and he was saying like, hey, in that version, like this or that class is completely nerfed, like for the sequel, aka Western release. So stuff like that. It's almost like for the better. Some of the stuff that they fixed and
I
whatnot.
think the version we got was so much better. I looked at the change list, and it's like I can't imagine playing the game without some of these changes.
Right.
Well, they're actually talking about this on RFN, the previous episode, and apparently all the annoying things were fixed apart from the one thing, which is like near the end of the game, you have to kind of play the game several times over again, and that's the thing they didn't fix. So
So
As you
that
say.
is
that's
my one complaint. Like, I love Bravely Default. It's one of the best RPGs
I
I've
did
ever
too.
played. I love
I
it.
liked it a lot too.
But that sequence, if you ask anyone who has played Bravely Default, everyone hates that part of the game.
Danny, did you do that?
Yes. Actually, I reviewed the game for Nintendo Force. Basically spiritual successor of Nintendo
Danny
Power.
been replaced by robots. No, he's safe now. Okay.
Yes. Well, and I beat the game in like 10 days. So I played the game. I played like 60 hours in like 10 days.
Yeah, it's a good game. Like,
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was during Christmas vacation, so I told my friends sometimes, like, look, I can't hang out and have fun. I have to sit at home and play video games. So
That's only 6 hours a day. That's nothing. Ty's probably like sniggering at you.
I know,
I
but
am,
sometimes
right?
I know, yeah. That's like a normal day for you. But most of the time, it's like, hey, I'd play for 2 hours, and then like one day I'd play for like 10. You know? But,
Right.
yeah,
Lightweight.
So the thing that I noticed between this game with like Bravely Second is that, and I think one of the other podcasts, I can't remember which one, one of the Famicast cousin podcasts.
Radio for Nintendo?
I think it might have been. I can't remember, but they were talking about Bravely Second, and
Probably what
it's
James
not
was
as
talking
much
about.
of
Yes.
there's not as much of a jump between Bravely for the sequel. Like, the difference between Bravely Default and Bravely Default for the sequel was a huge gap in, like, features. They added a bunch of cool features to the game. So then the jump between Bravely Default for the sequel and Bravely Second is not actually that much of a jump. It's kind of like you're almost playing the exact same game, just with new characters and new story.
Right.
Okay. So to be clear, you bought and completed for the sequel, the original game, but you haven't yet bought the second one. Just playing the demo.
I've only played the demo of the new game, Bravely Second. I've completed Bravely Default, which was Bravely Default for the sequel.
Or the sequel.
There's a lot of weird things going on in over the last 2 months about games coming out in the West which have been out for ages in Japan, and it's like, and Ty's making things even more confusing by playing XCOM 1 in the week XCOM 2 comes out. I did the same thing. I played Black Ops 2 the week Black Ops 3 came out. It's like, what is going on in this podcast?
Right. I'm kind of like semi-current, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront.
November 2015.
Man, I played the Hoth battle on the NES, man.
You can't beat on Shadows of the Empire.
Right. Sorry, Cyrus. As you were saying.
Yeah, Bravely Default. This demo is like it's like you can clear it in about 6 hours if you go.
Wow.
It's like one day of Danny playing games. But it's a pretty sizable demo, and I played it for about 10 hours, I think.
Jesus.
I finished everything in the demo. Like, I maxed out all my characters, I got all the jobs,
That's going to be on Cyrus's number 10 at the end of the year.
Yeah. So it's, oh man.
The demo.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked, because they have this thing where you, like, build a town. It's like Farmville built into the game. And so you help rebuild this town. It's one of the, like, a street pass feature. So as you pass people, you get more people in your town, and that speeds up.
In Bravely Second.
In Bravely Second, it's the moon. You're helping rebuild the moon.
Oh, okay.
In Bravely Default, you were rebuilding this town that was destroyed.
Right.
Cyrus, don't mention Farmville to me. I'll block you. Like I did my auntie on Facebook.
Yeah. But this is kind of okay. So one of the things in the demo is that if you max out your Farmville, you can carry some items.
Strike
forward.
2.
So you can carry some items from the demo into the full game. And
Right.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. They're kind of nonsense items, like a few potions, a few ethers, whatever. Nothing special. But I still got all of them anyway, because I love the series.
I remember with the original demo that came out for the first one, Minoru of former Famicast fame, he played the shit out of it. I think he said he played it for like 40 hours or something. The original demo, mainly
Yeah.
because of the side game, and it's because you need to wait X amount of time for stuff to like replenish or whatever. So he would just leave it like on or something and come back and keep doing it.
I
And
think
yeah,
I
he
remember
just
that.
went nuts with it. And God bless his soul, I didn't do that.
That's what I did. Because no one has this demo here because it's so old. No one
Yeah.
is street passing me, so I have like one dude in my village. So it took me like I did the same thing. I left it on for like so. I've played it for about 10 hours. My
Mhm.
registry will show it's been on for like 60 hours or something.
Great job.
Definitely going to be in like top 5 then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
I got that elixir. By darn, I did. But one of my favorite features of both. This was not in the original Bravely Default. It was in the European American Bravely Default for the sequel, and it's in this. Is the entire game can be played one-handed, which
Yes.
is
Heyo.
which is a great feature if you like hentai or you take trains a lot.
Same thing.
So, because I'm always like coming back and forth from Tokyo, so on the train you're holding onto the handle with one hand, and you can just play it completely one-handed with the other one, which is such an amazing Japanese feature to add to something. And it's so simple. It's just like up down on the menu is up down, left right is cancel or select.
Yep.
And you can play almost the entire game just like that.
Yep.
So that is a quality of life thing I would love to see in every other game because it's amazing.
Right. Right.
No, Nintendo are not doing quality of life anymore. They cancelled it.
It's over. Sorry, man.
Get over it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I played aside from like a couple of Splatoons.
Okay.
Oh, are you back on Splatoon?
Trying to, but then Street Fighter V came out, so no.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
We didn't play one. We still have yet to play one game.
I did get to use the slosher for the first time, and that thing is fun.
Damn right. The
And then I
slush.
got the heavy splatling and said, fuck the slosher, heavy splatling for life.
Damn right.
Cool. All right. Well, if Sai's finished up there, we'll go ahead and move on to James. So, what have you been playing, man?
Well, people have already skipped forward to this section of the podcast anyway, because that's what I would do. Use the chapters, by the way, if you haven't already done that. So yeah, like last couple of episodes, I've been talking about Black Ops 2, which is one of the most violent games I've played in a long time. People's faces being blown off, etc., etc.
Except Duke Nukem Forever.
That's on my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
By to-do, I mean to burn. And no. So yeah, I've just gone completely the opposite direction. So yeah, the game most dissimilar to Call of Duty, and that is Captain Toad. Possibly the cutest game you would ever play. I mean, this game is ridiculously cute. I mean, this is another game that I bought back in England. My massive pile of games that I brought back from England. And it's obviously I talked about 3D World last year. Loved it, and they have maybe 3 or 4 of these Captain Toad levels. Can't remember. There's not that many in the game, but they are really, really cool. Basically, you're playing these puzzle levels where you can't jump. You're in this Captain Toad character. So it's in the engine of Mario 3D Worlds, but your little Toad guy with his little cute helmet on. So it's to expand a game based on like a mini game of one game. It sounds like maybe a bad idea on paper. You kind of get boring quickly, but it's amazing how when you put limitations on like game design, you can get really, really creative, and they have done that. And this is kind of proof of like you limit yourself, and you can come up with some crazy cool things. So basically every stage is like this beautiful little diorama. I mean, the first thing I do when you start up the level is just like spin it around and just look at it from every angle. It's just so beautifully made. It's like I guess one of the differences is that you can't actually fall off the edges, which is kind of a nice touch. It's just basically puzzle based now. It's like
Right.
it's just focusing on the puzzles. It's not. There are enemies and you can get killed, you can die, but and there are some pits that you can fall down, but like that's all within the stage. So it's all about working out where you should walk and when you should walk. Like for example, you can kill enemies if you wait for them to go under you. You can actually kind of fall off a ledge and bounce on their head and kill them. So it does, all the physics and the rules of Mario do exist, but you're just kind of limited by this incredibly weak character. So you have to avoid enemies rather than jump on their heads. So it's kind of cool. It's like you're like Mario can just kill everything at sight. He's got so many moves and like suits that he can wear, right? But Toad, basically, that's all he is. That's all he has. You can get like a pickaxe pickup where he kind of the classic Donkey Kong sound, and you can go crazy for a few seconds. But that's pretty much the only way he can attack people.
Right. And James, like you said, I really like that dynamic where, I mean, yeah, it's still using literally pretty much the same engine as Super Mario 3D World, but you're just like this helpless little Toad, and you can't do anything. You got to be careful. I mean, if you're like you said, if you're in a really high position and you can like fall directly on top of like a Goomba's head or something like that or whatever, then yeah, you do it. But
and like those enemies that throw like those spiky roller things, I mean, they're pretty annoying to kill in 3D World. But imagine as Toad, who can't even jump. It's like you have to be really careful and know where you're going.
Right.
So
I do love how they explained that he can't jump because he's got a big heavy backpack.
yeah. Actually, somebody actually made a Mario Maker level using the Captain Toad costume, and they made it so you can't jump anywhere in the level. Like if you jump, you hit an invisible block and you immediately die.
That's cool.
Wow.
And it's really clever. There's quite a few actually.
Where is our Explorer Toad or Captain Toad amiibo? I want one of those.
Yeah, man. When they first, said we're gonna have amiibo integration with Captain Toad, and then it said with the regular Toad amiibo. I was thinking, are you kidding me?
You want alternates? Don't Gold, Silver Mario, Dr. Mario, 8-Bit Mario. No, we don't need more alternates. Come on.
No.
You can buy a custom-made one on eBay, probably.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, like there's it's kind of divided in books. Like each book is called an episode for some reason. That doesn't make sense. Why is a book an episode?
Ask George Lucas.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Don't bring George Lucas up on this episode. So like, I don't know how many levels there are in each book, but there's quite a fair few, maybe 15, 20 or something. I was actually really worried I'd completed the game. I was like, Jesus Christ, that's short. And then like another book appeared, and because I've complete. Well, I don't know if you have to complete 3D World or if you just have to have played it. But anyway, the save file is on my Wii U, so it unlocks a bonus chapter based on the 3D World levels. I think I remember, Danny, you said that like back when you played this. So you basically can play 3D World levels, but as Toad, so you can't jump, and they've kind of added little platforms and ladders for him to climb and stuff. It's pretty cool. I haven't started on those ones yet, just kind of dicked around with the first one. But yeah, like, I think most of the themes are the same as 3D World, but there are some new ones, like, there's some kind of like Western, I guess you would call it Western themed, cowboy themed, levels, which I don't remember in 3D World. Could be wrong about that, but there are some new stages that you've never seen before. But I just love like how detailed everything is. I mean, if you like that aspect of like Galaxy or 3D World, where you can kind of explore and you find little areas that any other publisher wouldn't have bothered to do geometry behind something, or like add little platforms that lead to basically nothing, just a little power up or something, but they've done detail in every little corner of it. Basically Captain Toad is like that distilled into a game. It's just condensed all this detail into this tiny little stages. So I guess what is that indie game? Is it Fez, the one that you can kind of spin around? It's kind of, yeah, I guess. Well, the gameplay is nothing like that, but I just mean how you can, from every side it's completely different. And you could be going around, confidently, keeping the camera in one angle all the time, and you think, oh, I can do this level without even spinning the camera much. But then you'll reach a point where you're totally stuck, and you're like, holy shit, this level is impossible. Like, how am I supposed to do this? And all you have to do is just spin the camera around a little bit more, and you're like, this whole new area was hidden behind the other side, and you're like, holy shit, like, I didn't even see that. So, like, yeah, literally, you do have to look at every side of it, like kind of like a Rubik's Cube kind of feeling to it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, and there are even some, like, underneath the stage sometimes, kind of like Galaxy, kind of upside down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different little things that you got to keep your eyes, peeled for sure.
Yeah, and I like, obviously they've got the, you have to get these 3 diamonds per stage. You can just get to the end of the level, like get the power star, you complete the level, easy. But the challenge is getting these 3 diamonds, because you have to go out your way, you have to kill enemies, or you have to go, down a pipe that you wouldn't normally have to go down to get all 3. And even on top of that, even if you get all 3 diamonds, there's an additional, I don't know what you would, like a challenge, an additional challenge, which is unique to each stage. And it'll say something like, collect 100 coins, or kill every enemy, or don't kill any enemies, or there'll be something unique to each stage. So, like, there's always a good reason to go back. I don't know about you, but like when you get like 2 out of the 3 diamonds, you just say like, fuck it, next stage. But on this one, is like you'll have that extra diamond, but then you'll also have an additional challenge to do. So you're like, okay, I could do that. I could get the extra diamond, and I could do that like challenge, and then it kind of motivates you to.
Right.
To go
that's
back and
kind of
try
how I was when I originally played through it. Like, I think for the longest time when I was playing, I was like, I am not quitting this stage until I get all these goddamn diamonds. So it's like, okay, there's this extra little challenge that I can do. I know I can do this.
Right.
And you try to go through and do it, and then most of the time, especially early on, you're like, yeah, it's easy, and then towards the latter part of the game, you're just like, Jesus, man, fuck this. I'm just happy to complete the stage.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the levels in 3D World? There's ones in Galaxy too, where it's based on like the music, and it goes ding ding ding, and like on the 3rd beat, the level changes.
I really did not like those stages.
Now imagine that, but you can't jump.
Yep.
There is actually a stage in Captain Toad like that, and it is way harder. Like, you really have to calculate your path before you go. With Mario, like 3D World and Galaxy, you could just like run ahead, and as it's about to change, you could just jump and do a spin, and you'd land somewhere safe, right? You can fluke it almost sometimes, but right. Captain Toad, you can't do that. You really have to. It is a puzzle to work out. You have to, set your path and go to that. Yeah. So it's very cool. And I don't know how much more content there is, but like I said, I'm on the 3rd episode in quotation marks. And yeah, it's getting hard. And then after that, I got the 3D World episode to do. So I don't think I'm going to buy a Toad amiibo to play that extra 8-bit Toad stage to it. What do you call it? The Find the 8-bit Toad minigame. Well, not minigame, but challenge or whatever.
Right.
I don't think I'm bothered with that. Do you know is it like a one touch, like you touch it once, boom, it's unlocked, or is it like you have to do it with every single time or something?
I don't have a Toad amiibo, so I never got to try it. But my impression was, I think as long as you find it in the stage, it's over. Because it might be in a place. I remember looking at screenshots, thinking,
to activate it.
This is like at the top of a fucking tree. How the hell is Toad gonna touch that?
Yeah, I think you just have to see it, and the game will register it.
No. I get that, but I mean, how do you activate that mode through the amiibo? Is it like you touch it once, boom, it's unlocked, or do you have to have the amiibo and touch it every single time?
You might have to touch it every single time.
It might be like Splatoon style, where you have to touch it to go into the missions. And so maybe every time you want to play, you tap it once.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite unusual for a Nintendo like first-party game, like a game in the Mario series, to have an update, as soon as I put the game in, it's like it asked me to update it. Like 3D World. I don't think 3D World did that. I don't think there's been an update to that. It's done. It's polished. It's perfect, as with most first-party Nintendo games. But with this one, they did have an update, because for that amiibo stuff. which was I guess an afterthought.
I had to get a title update just for the amiibo.
Well, yeah, there's a lot more updates to Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I think it's probably their most updated game after Hyrule Warriors, which I think was one every week at one point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
But yeah, thoroughly enjoying it, and it's a nice, what would you call it, like a palate cleanser, I guess, after COD.
Yeah. Sure.
So I'm thinking maybe after this I'll go back to like a hyper-violent game and kind of go back and forth between uber cute and hyper-violent from now on.
I find that a good a balance. I try to do something similar myself.
Yeah. It's good. It's good times. Good times. Yeah.
You should give Bravely Default. It's like a super cutie game. Then it sneaks in some really dark stuff every now and then.
Like when you're literally chainsawing off someone's head or something.
Are you joking?
You know that
No,
part
I'm totally joking.
with the two kids?
What's that?
Do you remember the part in the forest, the two kids, where they're like, there's that drug that makes people really they're like really greedy?
Let's just pretend that I remember.
Long story
God.
short, two kids like literally beat each other to death, and you can't save them. And you're like, what? What? These are children. They're not dead. This is a cutesy RPG.
I can't believe we're talking about drugging people in an RPG again for 2 episodes in a row.
This is children this time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's totally better.
yes. Thank you.
Anyway.
So-
Captain Toad.
So yeah, Captain Toad, recommend it. I got it for like super cheap. I think I got it for like 15 squids. So I know that's not the going rate brand new. I think it's probably 30 or 40, right? But yeah, if you can get it for like, reasonable price, I'd say go for it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yep. Danny, can you remember the Japanese name for it? It's got a totally different name, right? It's called Treasure Tracker in English, right? Captain Toad Treasure Tracker?
Treasure Tracker. It's a Kinopio Taicho. Then
Captain Toad, yeah.
totally forgot. Yeah, I don't remember.
Let's all go to the city or something like
Yes. Yeah. But all right. Was that all, James?
Kinopio Taicho.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Boom. There it is. So.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, I haven't been playing anything on my 3DS since Box Boy got sorted. I haven't really played anything on the 3DS. I mean, obviously, I've been playing Splatoon and a lot, and I played Mario Maker again when there was the update, the costumes. But that's a different segment. we don't talk about that in new business anymore.
Right, which for the podcast viewers, that's actually be coming up here next. But for you guys here with us live, we're going to go ahead and move on to what little bit of news that we have. So,
actually, Danny, can we redo that? I actually moved it down.
Okay.
Because I didn't think it kind of fit, like me talking for ages and then straight into me more talking for ages.
Okay, that's totally fine.
I think I put it like after charts.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's after charts. If you look on the agenda. So could you just do that again, but just say next is news or whatever?
Sure, no problem.
For the audio idea, we apologize to the video viewers for that.
Right.
Behind baseball, inside. What's it called? Inside baseball.
Behind baseball, whatever. Baseballs.
Okay. Audio edit point.
Yes. So next up is the news.
Woo.
Boom. So let's take a look here. Yeah, with the unfortunate timing of the episode that we have right now, Nintendo actually announced that there is a Pokemon Nintendo Direct coming this Friday, February 26th, in America.
God, we time it well, don't we?
Oh yeah, we're basically about 24 hours away from it right now. So for the audio listeners, it's just like you guys, by the time this actually gets out, you guys are probably going to already know what's all up with this. But, this is beginning on the 26th in the morning for the guys on the West Coast.
Hey, Danny, should we record like 2 or 3 versions of this to see whatever could happen?
Yeah, sure.
Wow, what's it called? Pokemon Z? That was a real surprise.
Yeah, I was really impressed that they actually got Danny DeVito to play, Detective Pikachu's voice. It was great.
I was pleasantly surprised and gratified to see my tweet prediction was correct, that they announced Pokemon are real.
Pokemon dead today at the senseless age of 83.
Hold on. Oh, Pokemon Go. Wow, that looks amazing. Definitely downloading that day one.
I'm
Yeah, that
definitely gonna.
surprise launch was like announcing it was just available right now. That was cool.
Yeah. Yahoo.
Entire all 700 and whatever Pokemon announced as amiibo figures.
Don't
I
give
can't
them any ideas.
I can't believe they're canceling Pokemon.
Um,
I think we've got all
so-
bases covered.
pretty much. Yeah, we're not going to really talk too much about that because by the time, I mean, we pretty much have an idea of what they might talk about. But I mean, with Nintendo Direct, sometimes there's just this uncertainty and this unpredictability that just comes with this stuff. And
Well, Danny, it's 5 minutes long. It's obviously a trailer and a little bit of info, so whatever.
5 1-minute trailers of iOS games. Boom, over.
Cool.
So
Next.
yeah, next let's keep on going. Cyrus, didn't you have something on here?
Oh yeah, so it wouldn't be a Famicast without me talking about Pokemon Tournament.
Yes.
So and Amiibo get the old 1-2 punch in there.
Mhm.
So they announced in this glut of news that we have this week that when you can swipe up to 5 Amiibo a day into Pokemon Tournament, and it will grant you one random customization unlock. So be that a new pair of goggles for your trainer, a trainer title,
God.
a background for your trainer avatar, whatever.
Cyrus, how many amiibos do you have, Cyrus?
I only have like 12.
Okay. I only have yeah.
Well, I mean, if I look the other direction, I have like 100 Disney Infinity figures. So
God, save your soul.
it's too late.
They'll be going to book off soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so it's just all the pointless crap that you have to pay a subscription for the option of using or even buying in the arcade. You just
Right.
swipe an amiibo, you get one.
Actually, on the topic of Pokken, we do have a preview on the site, NintendoWorldReport.com, by none other than Dan Koopman.
Mhm.
So I believe he's got the full game, probably like pre-release
Yes,
or
he
something
does.
from maybe Nintendo of Europe, I guess.
Right.
So if you want to have hands-on impressions, then go and check it out. I think he's got some videos as well. So
Right.
English version of the game. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
And if
definitely
you
check that
go
out.
real hands-on, just go back and listen to Famicasts. I have the on-the-scene arcade knowledge here.
Yeah, basically for the past year, between you and Ty, you guys are probably on the whole fucking internet. I mean, you guys are the source for Pokemon, really.
I think
If you're not
I think
listening
the
to
first
Famicast-
one was it called Pocation Test, the episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We played the Pogation test.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Cyrus's birthing ritual into the Famicast.
How horrifying.
I was impressed. I just just kind of stood there staring the whole time, but whatever.
Hey Ty, I think the conversation was like, "Hey Ty, do you know any losers who's played Pokken in the arcade?" And Ty's like, "I know this guy."
I think I can hook us up.
1 year later, he's still here.
Yep. Yep.
It's not been a year. Has it been a year? Hasn't been a year.
Almost.
Really?
So
Okay. Welcome aboard, Cyrus.
yeah. Anyway,
I
well,
never actually officially said, hey. You just kind of like asked me once or twice, hey, will I come on the podcast one more time?
it's like, hey, just keep it coming. Just keep it coming. Come on, it's fine. Maybe.
You're like the guy who always shows up to your parties, and you never invite him, but he's just always there. So eventually
Kind of in the corner, tapping his cup, kind of looking around.
he eventually becomes your friend.
Yeah. Eventually, it's still going to take a couple years, Si. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll eventually learn your surname one day.
Yes.
Whenever I get my titles working.
So I guess kind of moving on with the news, I'll just kind of go through some notable releases here. On the Wii U, like the VC, Sonic Adventure 2 is out already on the Wii U right now, Game Boy Advance game, Onimusha Tactics, which apparently has been out in North America as of, I think, at some point last year. That just came out here recently, GBA game. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 3 is coming out next week here. This is the GBA version, not the DS version, so don't expect any extra case or any. I'm sorry. What's the word? Cyrus, fill me in here. Oh my God, turnabout. Thank you. God, it's been too long. And another thing that I saw too that was I thought pretty impressive. Kirby Mass Attack. Basically one of the last Kirby games released on the DS. That's coming to the Wii U Virtual Console for 950 yen. And we got that came out like 2011 or something, like maybe August, September 2011. Got pretty decent reviews, and I remember at least NWR staff, they felt pretty, impressed with the game, and that's coming out here pretty soon. In terms of 3DS stuff, just regular releases, Mega Man Legacy Collection, known here as Rockman Classics Collection. That's coming out here pretty soon. And then something that I must have just overlooked, and Cyrus, you seem like a guy that probably would have known about this. Yokai Sangokushi, basically Yokai Watch meets, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms game.
I was actually just saw this title here, and I was going to make a joke about, oh, look, someone's trying to cash in on that Yokai Watch stuff. And I was like, oh, wait, no, this is actually Yokai Watch game. Never mind.
Yes, and this is totally real. It's coming out on April 2nd. This was announced like last year, and I just, for whatever reason, I must have missed it. But yeah, this is coming out here very soon. And
Japanese video game right here.
This is.
At it, it's like, oh yeah, this game, but I completely forgot it existed entirely.
Yeah, this is the most Japanese that you can get in terms of series. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? But yeah, and unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I played one of the Super Nintendo games in English, and I thought it was just really dull. My first ever Wii U game I played was Romance of the Three Kingdoms 12. Fuck my life, just not too fun at a Tokyo Game Show, show floor. So who knows about this? I really don't care. But next, we have the most exciting part of the news, the charts. And Ty, would you mind, per usual, reading
time.
through? Yeah, it's been time. Would you mind going through the software? And this is again this is Media Crate sales. This is February 15th to the 21st. From there. So
yes, video games released in a certain time frame.
Yes.
Number 10, Dragon Quest Builders.
Yes.
On the Vita. Dragon Quest Minecraft or whatever.
Still, that Vita version, it's really interesting how it just outsold the other two so much.
Yeah. Okay, number 9, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final on 3DS. Sold a lot to date, over 100,000.
Recent release.
Yeah. Okay, and then from now on, these are all new games that just released.
Yes.
Here we go. Attack on Titan on PS3. The old Shingeki no Kyojin. Is that game good?
It looks really cool. And it's getting, it's like, it's, have you ever played Spider-Man 2, that famous Spider-Man game with the really fun web swinging mechanic?
Was that on Dreamcast by the Tony Hawk guys?
Perchance, maybe.
It's on GameCube, right?
I think it was kind of on everything, but
Except
it's really, really good either way. And this Attack on Titan, it kind of has the same thing where if you've ever seen Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan, they have these I think it's called variable gear or something where they shoot out these hook shots from their belt and they latch onto buildings, so they travel really fast by pushing and pulling on these metal cables.
Right.
So the game is like you're flying around the city, latching onto stuff and going pretty fast.
Well,
I actually saw an arcade version of this.
Which looks amazing. I am dying to play that game.
Yeah, I'm
I've
interested.
forgotten what the controller was. What was the controller?
the controller was like each hand you've got one gun, and
Right.
gun fires a cable.
Mhm.
So you latch onto buildings by pointing at the two buildings, firing your cables, and pulling yourself towards them, which sounds amazing.
Is this correct? Is it actually a PS3 game?
Yes.
And
You read that right.
the home version just used a regular controller, but this the arcade one sounds bonkers.
Yeah, I want to try it. Just listening to it.
I like the way Ty was like, "Did I read that right?"
PS3, yeah.
In the year 2016, Japanese people are still buying PS3 games.
Yeah. And I'd say I don't think this has anything to do with the game that was released on the 3DS either. So.
Oh, your favorite game?
Different developer. I mean, Spike Chunsoft did that. This is Koei Tecmo. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how it compares to like the free, I think it was Java-based web applic game which was amazing.
We talked about that for sure, man. Back in the day.
For like 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, so good. Okay, well, moving on. We have Project Setsuna on the Vita, and also Project Setsuna on the PS4.
Yeah,
This game is taking up 2 slots.
Yes, for a little bit of background on this is a Square Enix thing. It's almost kind of like a newer Chrono Trigger-ish type of game in terms of like gameplay style. It's like kind of like that type of an RPG, like action-based RPG. Actually, just looking at some screenshots and reading about it a little bit, it sounds pretty fucking cool. But that might just be me.
Wait, who developed this game?
I don't know the developer. I just know that Square Enix published.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Next, we have Mario and Sonic at the 216 Rio Olympics 3DS.
216 BC.
Per Don Koopman, he said that this game is actually not bad.
I've seen TV adverts. Like the train that I get has got on the TV screen on the train has got adverts for this running 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the advert made it look a lot of fun, but I've never played these games before.
Yeah, Don said, I had like the first one that they ever released on the Wii, but then there's just been a slump with these games where they've just been crap. But he said, like, I think he's playing like maybe this for review, maybe from Nintendo Europe or something like that. Mm-hmm. But he said, yeah, this is actually surprisingly good. He was really surprised about how much fun he's actually having with this game. So
the way
worth a shot.
The way they're pitching it is like they had like 4 like high school girls all playing together in like one of their bedrooms, and they're all like playing against each other, really getting into it. So yeah.
In between pillow fights.
Yeah, like really getting into it. Like, can we have some more gnarly details on that?
No, she was just mashing a lot of buttons and then going yay in slow motion.
Oh, okay. So can I like find this on Pornhub or?
Christ.
Sorry.
Yeah, I noticed a few businessmen touching themselves while looking on the train. So.
That's okay.
Probably got an extra few sales right there.
This story is on Pornhub.
All right. Moving on. Street Fighter V. I've heard of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
PC version, right?
PS4 version. I don't even know how. No, they don't even track like PC sales, right?
And even I'd say that like it's got like a pretty disappointing launch of physical copies, but I'd say a lot of people got digital copies of this game because if you pre-ordered it, you got access to the beta. So.
Oh, that's right.
I'd say a lot of people pre-order digitally, got access to the beta, and it's not showing up on any charts.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder what those numbers look like.
And theoretically, this is the only physical version you ever need to buy, right? Because you can just keep upgrading for free.
That's right. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
I wouldn't be shocked if they do eventually release like a Game of the Year version or whatever. But it's not like you're going to need to buy it. It's just like, hey, do you want to get all the DLC on a disc? Here you go.
Yeah, that's a good point. People keep buying, maybe latecomers, they'll want to buy the edition with all the characters instead of grinding for 400 hours to buy all of them. Anyway, what do we got here? We got Attack on Titan 2 more times, PS4 and Vita. Okay, so that explains why we saw the PS3 one earlier.
Yes. Yes.
This is the same as Dragon Quest Builders last week, right? The three versions.
Right.
Minecraft, yeah, everything.
So if you add up all the versions of Attack on Titan, it's roughly equal to this week's number one, which is Kankoli Kai on the Vita. That's right.
I actually added a little link for you all to click so you can actually see.
Oh God, I hope this is a really horrifying.
Oh yeah, of course this sold 1 million units.
Yeah, I was looking this up when I was updating these charts, and I was thinking, I remember being horrified by one of these games.
This is the like fake or real type game. This is the girls.
This is the Battleship waifu game.
Yeah, anthropomorphic battleships in the shape of high school girls. Yeah. Well, it's a Vita game. What else do you need to know about it?
Is there like a YouTube trailer with exploding clothes? Oh yeah, right here. It's embedded right in the page.
Yeah, and like this Kankoli collection is ridiculously popular right now in Japan. Like, wow.
Okay.
Especially because I teach high school students. I can't remember what level all y'all teach, but it's like my students are goddamn nuts for this whole thing.
Okay, guys, hold into your asses. A little bit of a rant coming here. We got a little like request to talk about the NX rumors, and there were some rumors like this week about there was like the Ori and the Blind Forest developers were kind of bad-mouthing Nintendo a bit for saying like they haven't got the development kits out in time for them, and it's kind of like a repeat of the Wii U, and they're not going to have third parties on the NX just like they did with the Wii U. And looking at this top 10, I mean, look at this top 10 is fucking ridiculous. Like, there's 2 Nintendo games on there. We're near the end of the 3DS's life, and also unfortunately the Wii U's life. And all of these like third-party games on PlayStation. I mean, this is how you get a system to sell continuously for a long time. You get fucking third-party support. And look at it. We're in 2016. There's a fucking PS3 game in the top 10.
James, I will say this about this list. I mean, it's like the release week of these particular games. So that makes sense for that. I mean, otherwise, basically...
The PS3 and the Wii are the same generation, right?
I know, but
James... a fucking Wii game in the top 10?
Of course not, because they don't make any games on it.
Exactly. We haven't seen a Wii game in the top 10 for 4 years or something.
Right. But, I mean, PS3 is a different beast. Sony actually still supports this thing. They still encourage developers to support this thing. This is a very abnormal week where you have, situations. I mean, even in the last episode we did live and stuff like that, where, Dragon Quest Builders came out. That's a multi-platform release on, all Sony platforms. I mean, typically, here in Japan, you see a lot of stuff that's coming out. Basically, Nintendo's always on the top here, basically because nobody's buying shit on PS3 or PS4. And people are buying stuff on Vita because they're fucking crazy, and there's stuff that appeals to Japanese gamers here.
But this year, what we're going to see on 3DS? I mean, maybe the Dragon Quest remakes,
Joker's 3.
What else? Like the Wii is going to have Zelda. Zelda might not, even reach the top 10 in Japan. We don't even know. Maybe for 1 week. Zelda's not that big.
Yeah.
There's a few other games we've already had all the big kind of Japanese focused games like the Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami game. Did that even reach the top 10? Maybe a week. That was about it. Xenoblade, none of those kind of big Japanese games, there's no more coming out. And it's like, it just really annoys me that, already, in the birth of the NX, and we're already getting kind of negative rumors around third-party support. And it's just, well, there were some positive ones, like with the, with EA, they were talking about, rekindling their partnership with Nintendo, which which may or may not be good. Yeah, we get more FIFA and Madden games. Woohoo! We haven't had any kind of good EA games on Nintendo systems for a long time.
Right.
Like interesting, unique games. Maybe Boom Blocks comes to mind. I don't know. Outside of that, I mean, I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. And every new Nintendo system that comes out, we hope that they're gonna get their shit together. And it was, I don't know, they kind of have been making improvements, and I just hope they really do get their shit together finally, because I don't know how many like hardware failures they can have. Well, you could say the Wii U is the first complete failure in a long time, but even then it's not.
Right. I mean,
it's not a Virtual Boy. It's
exactly.
But it's not even a GameCube. So and most people look at the GameCube as a failure, and the GameCube's shitting all over the Wii U. So.
Right. I mean, when it comes down to it, too, in terms of like sales numbers, like GameCube was just a little bit under the original Xbox. I mean, this is me kind of being my, fucking Homer coming out in me, where it's like, GameCube, dude, but it's like, when it comes to like sales numbers, yeah, PS2 just blew the shit out of Xbox and GameCube, but I mean, GameCube and Xbox was a hell of a lot closer than what people are basically trying to make you think.
There were reasons to have all those systems.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Wii U, I don't know.
I mean, there's literally only. I mean, people are saying this even at the launch of Wii U, like, Wii U is probably just going to be a first-party machine and a few good indie games, and that literally is the truth. That's all it is. It's just first-party and indie games now, isn't it? And if Nintendo looked at this top 10 that we have this week, this is what it could. If you just imagine the the PS4 version and then also being an NX or a Wii U version on top of that, what that could do. It's just we just haven't had that, like a multi-format system like a Nintendo system. I mean, the GameCube was the last one to have that, and even then the third parties were not that good, It's like, anyway, rant over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since we kind of brought up some feedback, let's just kind of keep on going with that. I mean, hardware, that's fine. We don't have to worry about that this time. We'll talk about maybe that the next episode. But,
Xbox One blew off the chart.
As always. So
162 units, if you're counting.
Yes. So we'll leave that. And for you podcast listeners, the next thing you're going to be hearing is the tones of JC bringing you the latest from Splatoon and Super Mario Maker. So stay tuned for that. But for all of you guys that are still with us here live, we're going to go ahead and move back on into our own kind of thunder round of, completely ripped off from Radio for Nintendo, our thunder round of feedback from you guys out there. If you want to hit us up, you can do that on Twitter. We are at the Famicast. If you want to hit us up via email, you can hit us up at famicast@nintendoworldreport.com. We'll give it our private things later. So if you want to, well, okay, that sounds kind of dirty. Anyway, let's just roll with it. So
we're calling this Life in Japan, like underground, basically. We haven't had a proper full-on Life in Japan for a while, but we thought we'd ask people to send in their quick and dirty. No, that sounds wrong. Life in Japan questions.
Yes.
Cyrus. Cyrus hasn't spoken for a while, so he
actually, Cyrus, do you want to take these first tweets that we got from Mr. Russ Greeno here?
I would like nothing more, Danny.
Okay.
So, Russ Greeno from Twitter. I don't know what his Twitter handle is.
That's where he lives.
Yeah. So,
It's a city. Look it up.
So his first question, following on from my previous questions many months ago about car swapping parties, what unusual gatherings have you been to? So maybe if you remember, he talked about adult parties where people swap car keys.
Yes.
And I didn't understand it until it was explained to me.
Me,
I was like, oh shit, you're just changing cars? I mean, fuck, I mean, it's not a big deal as long as you don't wreck the damn thing.
Well, it depends what you're going to do in the car. Then I think we decided that they probably don't exist in Japan.
Yeah.
So unusual gatherings.
So I guess I don't know about you guys. The weirdest thing for me, I went to a quote unquote international party. In,
Brilliant.
Roppongi. One. This is before I got married, but I was thinking like, hey man, you know, maybe I could meet like a nice girl here or something, and da 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 da. And then I think my friend Josh said like, no man, what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna end up talking to some guy for probably like 30 minutes about nothing. And guess what happened? Just talking to some guy. He just came up to me. It was like this. It was like 80% dudes, and it was just so boring. And I paid like, I don't know, $70-$80 to even get in.
Oh god.
Right.
Was that like an embassy?
No. This is just like this fucking some stupid club that it was awful. It was loud. I hated it. I started drinking more because I was like, yeah, I need fucking alcohol.
And it turned into an international dispute party.
Just talking to some guy from like Bolivia, and I was like, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm done.
7,000 yen, well spent.
Perfect.
Actually, yeah, that is a good one though. International parties, because like if you're a member of, I mean, most foreigners, you know, most English-speaking people living in Japan are usually members of like a website which gets you private lessons. Most people join up for those, and occasionally they'll ask you like, hey, we've got a party, you know, do you want to come? And what they do is they invite every Japanese student and every English teacher, you know, into a room. But
I guess all those students missed the damn memo that day.
yeah. What usually happens is there'll be like all the teachers are there and like, you know, 3 students. But, yeah, it's kind of unusual, isn't it? I mean, it's like, I guess they're just trying to encourage like people to speak English in a realistic setting, like a party setting, but that's rarely what actually ends up happening. Yeah, probably pushes cultures further apart more than anything.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never been to one of these international parties, but kind of in a similar vein where there was someone, like I run an adult English class, which I just finished like second.
What did you just say?
Adult.
Yeah.
Okay,
adult
no, sorry, I thought I heard something that's.
An
won't
adult
even
video
say
party?
No, it's too dirty. I won't say it. I can't say it.
So Cyrus finished his adult video party and he came to the podcast.
My adult video class just finished.
Trust me, it was much worse than that.
So at this class, I had like a new student one day, and she asked me to come to this other international class she was running, so she wanted me to teach like, she had this whole curriculum, so she gave me like all the documents. She brought me out to coffee and explained all this, like, this is what you're supposed to do. Here's the course. This is my company. Blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. I'll volunteer. I'll do this class for you. And so I went off and did all this like lesson planning. I was going to be teaching some like local people about my home country, all this other stuff. And then I show up on the day, and
so the Ivory Coast.
It was like I was going to give like Janken to see which country I would be talking about on the day, but they turned out like I was a student in this class, where she gave this class entirely in Japanese and I spoke even less Japanese at this point, where there was like 20 like adult guys, all Japanese guys, and she was supposed to be like sharing intercultural relationship classes, and so I was just sat down at this table with like 20 dudes, and we were having a class on how to interact with the foreigner.
Oh boy.
Like,
in Japanese?
In Japanese, because none of them spoke any English. And
that's how you interact with foreigners, in Japanese only.
How to handle foreign people.
Yeah.
Use gloves and a big stick.
So maybe, and she was fluent in English, but she managed to not tell me any of this at any of the several meetings we had about this class. So why she allowed me to think I was going to be teaching this class, I don't know, but I ended up just being like the token foreigner that everyone studied for a class.
It was a practical joke. You just weren't in on it, man.
I'm still waiting for that punchline to be delivered to me. I
It's
just
a,
left in
it's
confusion along with everyone else.
it's a tricky thing in Japan. Like, like if somebody's like sparks, like, starts a conversation with you, and you think like, oh, they're just being friendly or they want to be your friend, but then, you know, because English lessons are expensive and lots of people want to learn English, you can quickly friendship can turn into just like wanting free English lessons.
Right.
So you end up having to be like kind of a dick sometimes, like saying, well, yeah, so is this an English lesson or are we hanging out here? It's kind of like it's a difficult line to balance sometimes, and like sometimes like my wife will like have like her friends over for like a cup of tea or something, and then the conversation will come to like, oh yeah, I'm interested in learning English, and then
Get a good teacher.
yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, so now James is now an English teacher for like 3 housewives for no money at all. It's like, well, no, that's not how this works,
Yeah.
I usually get paid for doing this kind of stuff, so
It's the same, man. I mean,
it's tricky sometimes.
one of my friends, we were at a bar, and just trying to have fun drinking with your friends or whatever, and people are like, hey man, can you teach me English? It's like, yeah, here's my rate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do feel like a dick sometimes, you don't know if somebody's actually being friendly or if they're just trying to get free lessons out of you, so it happens.
That's when you start talking really fast and to scare them away from the language.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm totally gonna use that. That never occurred to me.
Right.
Let's see. How about the next question here, James?
From Russ again.
Russ again.
Another one from Russ. He says it's a bit personal, but is, I guess, my son, he's talking to me, accepted in society, or is he a social outcast for being half Japanese? Wow, such strong words. Well, the short answer is no. He's not a social outcast. I mean, he's only 4.
Not yet.
But he did buy you like a Dr. Mario amiibo.
Yeah, so I mean, he's outcast from his father, so whatever.
Yeah, I banished him from the house. No. Yeah, I guess maybe he's like talking about like racism or whatever in Japan. We've touched on this in the Famicast before. I guess at 4 years old, kids haven't developed racism or really haven't been taught racism yet. So yeah, he just fits in at his nursery school just fine. Maybe ask this question again when he's in junior high school, I don't know. But from what I've heard, it kind of depends on the area where you live. If you're in a very if you're out in the sticks, you're out in the boonies, as I hear Americans call it, the boondocks, then maybe
Stretching too far.
I heard it can be tricky.
Yeah, my students have beat up your kid. I'm sorry.
What, high school students against a 4-year-old?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they might lose. They might lose, but they could try.
So yeah, you could. I mean, wouldn't you say that is the same in any like country? Like if there's like if you're in like an all-white neighborhood and like an African American moves in,
Right.
It's like, wouldn't it be the same thing?
I mean, it's like this, like my hometown in America. It's pretty much black people, white people, and there's really nothing other than that. Maybe some Latino folks, whatever. So when my wife went back with me to America for the first time, her first time out of the country, it was really bizarre for her. People would like stare at her, even like people would like come up, like we were at Walmart and somebody just came up to my wife and said, "What perfume are you wearing? It smells so good." And my wife's like, "Shampoo, salt and water."
Oh,
Ever heard of it? That was like some homeless guy, drenched in his own piss.
How horrifying.
But for my wife, I thought it was a good experience just to show her. Like,
That was a good
experience. Drenched in your own piss.
Yeah. Talk to that homeless guy, honey.
Yeah, talk to this
Good
guy.
experience.
It's totally fine. Oh God, I'll just shut up.
So yeah, yeah. In general, I'd say Japan is getting more accepted, accepting of people from other countries. I mean, but yeah, I would say in central Tokyo, it's a lot better. I mean, people don't even bat an eyelid. There's like, there's a place where I work in Tokyo, and it's like there's almost more foreigners than Japanese people. It's like it all depends on where you live.
Yeah, I'm way out in the sticks, and like I still get head turns whenever I walk past. Cause like, oh my god, the foreigner in the sticks. So
Right.
it really does vary massively between how close you are to the city.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
I guess the next one's for you, Danny. Number three from Russ. Russ sent
Yay.
3, by the way.
How easy is it to find fake goods? Everywhere in street markets like China? Or does Danny Biv have to go underground? Well, I'll tell you, I have to go underground when I want to get my shit. So I can't tell you what it's like to try to get this stuff, legally,
your body pillows.
whatnot. Well, I don't even know what you said there.
Fake or real on the streets edition.
Yeah.
Right.
Danny's goods, fake or real.
My goods. All my amiibo are fake.
Yeah.
Fraudulent.
I still paid double price for them, though.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I have pretty much never seen like bootleg goods.
I think the closest I got was like what was it called? The N4 card for the DS, like the
Yeah, I got
ROM
one
card.
of those too.
No, no, it's R4, isn't it? No, I didn't
R4.
buy one. But like in Akihabara, I saw there was a shop advertising those, and I think this was just before the lawsuit that came from Nintendo. And they were just blatantly selling it, like in this well, it was like kind of a back alley.
Yeah, I think I know the exact shop you're talking about because
it's
I
actually
got mine there.
It's quite near to Super Potato, actually.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
And maybe like a week after the lawsuit, I went back to the same shop. None there. They were gone. So yeah, I'd say those kind of things are clamped down on pretty hard in Japan. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I know when you're like, if you go to Harajuku, you know that Omotesando, the really famous street in Harajuku. You'll often get some people like asking you, hey, do you want to come down and see my discount goods store around the corner?
Or hey man, want some weed?
And that's the closest I've ever seen. It's not like anime goods or whatever. It's like purses and stuff. The usual fake on the street stuff that you find.
Yeah.
Usually, like, I mean, what would you call them? Like copycat models of stuff. Like, I remember like seeing in this magazine there was like a Dyson vacuum cleaner. Looks exactly like a Dyson, but it was made by a Japanese manufacturer.
Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
And it was like
in America, it was actually called the M Bison vacuum cleaner.
No, it's called the Vega in Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was like 5,000 yen. It was like ridiculously much cheaper than an actual Dyson, and I thought that was kind of odd. So it's more like legitimate copycats than
That's a good way of putting it, actually.
I mean, in China it would be called a bison, wouldn't it? And BYSON, and it would be like the same price or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, typically, I'm not even in Tokyo very often, to be perfectly honest with you guys, except for when I see a shop.
God,
A
shop. I just gotta get my fix.
Yes, a shop that literally says "slut" on the outside, and it's a used clothing store. But whatever. Aside from that, I mean, yeah, that's what.
Was that Ty? Was that Ty? Was that me? I forgot.
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Yeah.
I was in this place called Koenji in Tokyo with my wife, and we just came across this store, like literally painted on the outside wall. It just said "slut." They probably meant something else, but then it said "slut," like used clothes. It's like, what?
I hope you got a picture.
Oh, of course, it's on Twitter. So
Oh,
anyway,
Sluts R Us right next door. Totally different shop.
yes, that's where I was.
That's what you were looking for.
That's what I am.
Good.
Anyway, moving on here.
So the answer is no. There are not street markets full of rip-off goods.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, for God's sake, you can't even rent games in Japan because they're so concerned about piracy.
Because you can't copy those.
Yeah, because you can't copy games. But you can't copy CDs, right, or books.
Yeah, of course not. It's too hard.
So I guess it's me next. Gran Borismo 64 says, "Hey Danny, you never told us about how you got your driving license in Japan. How did you do it?"
Yeah, so it's okay. So if you're it's kind of a long type of an answer, but I'll try to keep it short. But if you're an American and you're here in Japan, you want to drive, as long as you basically have a valid license that you've had for over 3 months, you can do it. You have to go to a driving center that's actually in your prefecture or whatnot and pass a test. This usually consists of taking a 10 question, at least in Saitama, it was a 10 question multiple choice, I'm sorry, true or false quiz, where it was like, hey, do you put on your seatbelt when you drive? Yes, maybe, I think so.
Was that in English?
Yes, and it's in English. They usually have multiple, like there's like Chinese, English,
Oh, okay.
German, everything but like French. It seemed like it was really kind of bizarre.
Not in
Zut alors.
Yamanashi.
What's that?
Not in Yamanashi, I can tell you that.
Okay, must just be a Saitama thing. But then after that, you have to take a practical test, like at the the driving center in your prefecture, and as long as you can pass that, then you're street legal to drive in Japan. And I know for me
Street
myself,
legal.
yeah, for me myself, the first time I took it, it was 3 days after I was just in America, so I failed because I accidentally turned into the wrong lane and started driving like a
Because
moron.
the time difference, so you thought it was nighttime, so you put your headlights on.
Yeah, exactly. It's 3 in the afternoon, but whatever. But yeah, and then I ended up taking in the town I live in right now. There's actually like a driving course where I practiced on. I had to pay a ridiculous amount of money for 2 times to practice, like $100. And but it got me used to driving, kind of on the road. Because I could talk a lot about this, but basically when you're driving in Japan, obviously the roads are a lot more narrow than what you're used to in America. I can't really speak for Europe. I've never driven over there, so. But you just kind of got to be aware of like people driving on bicycles and motorcycles and stuff, because they'll just come up right beside you if you're not paying any attention. You can just like literally kill them. So.
What's it like? What's it like driving in Japan with those crazy narrow roads?
It can be kind of scary. I was driving to Costco the other day with my wife on this road that I had never taken before, and I'd never even seen her take before either.
Mhm.
And I guess I was getting really, because obviously in America too, we're driving on the right side of the road as opposed to the left. But I was getting really close to the left side, and then my wife was kind of freaking out a little bit, and that like freaked me out in turn two. So like,
Well, she just started screaming, "No!"
she was like, haven't I? Like, hey, dude, watch out, you're getting way too close to the side. Oh, shit,
Danny Bivens, license holder,
If you value your life, get the fuck off the streets.
legally allowed to drive in Japan. Brilliant. Look up your kids.
I did actually through a stoplight.
In America, red means go.
Thank you. So,
Good.
yes.
Okay. I guess it's Ty's turn next.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I've been waiting for this one.
Ty, so I'll go ahead and read this. So what's the deal with Japanese people adding W to things? Does it mean winning?
What's the deal?
What's the deal with Japanese people? Yeah.
It means lol.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
That's true. WWWW means like.
LOL.
Right. Well, like, is it warao, right? Laughing.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the first letter of warao, which is to laugh, is W if you write
W.
in English.
That's right. So when you're watching Nico Nico
videos.
or
Wow.
whatever, and this whole row of W sails by, that means lol.
So, but Ty, I think this person is asking like adding W to things like, for example, W burger.
Yeah, I think what this guy, he follows the Sega Twitter page, because this week they put up a tweet saying, "Did you know that the W in Fantasy Zone 2W stands for double? Learn more about the origin of the game here."
yes.
It's one of the most annoying things in Japan for me. It just fucking pisses me off because it's like it'll say W chance, but that means double chance. Like you have two chances.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's not. It's not double. It's W. That's a
Yeah.
totally different word.
You
So at
try
any
to.
like random like restaurant or whatever, you might see a portion of like katsudon or something or pork curry, and it'll just have like a regular size with a V on it, which means single portion, and then beside it you'll see the same curry dish with a W, which is like double portion.
Beautiful and then W. Boom.
Okay, here's a quote from Wikipedia. For example, W dato means double date, and WW burger doesn't mean World War burger. From Freshness Burger, which is a popular burger chain in Japan, means doubled beef and double cheese because that's there's two W's there. WW burger. Yeah, it pisses me right off.
Yep.
Because it's so hard to undo that when you're teaching English. Because like I remember like talking to this like Japanese teacher, and they were like, and I was like I was dictating something for her to write down on the board, and I said something like write this sentence. I was like double. I can't remember what I said now. It wasn't double date because that would be awkward in an English lesson. But anyway, I said, can you write double on the blackboard? And she wrote W, and I was like, not W, double, the word double. And she just didn't get it. I was like, double, DOUBLE, for fuck's sake! I threw the chalk.
Prepare for trouble.
I threw the chalk on the blackboard, and it fell off.
That's
Killed
actually
her.
a fair point that I hadn't really thought of. That this kind of like language appropriation really creeps into Japanese a lot, and undoing it in high school or any level of school is very annoying.
Yeah, if Japanese people could spell double without any problem, that would be fine, but they can't. So that's really, really annoying to fix as an English teacher.
Wrecked.
Yes.
Wrecked also begins with a W, so it means double wrecked.
You're on the internet. There is no W in wrecked. There's
Right.
just two K's.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess we had a few other little bits of feedback here too. From between the previous episode and right now. I'll go ahead and just kind of read through this here real quick. It's getting pretty late here. This one's from Rich, and talking about the last episode we were talking about the Ace Attorney movies, and he's saying like, hey, he said like, hey, yo, the Gyakuten Saiban movie is legit the best video game movie ever. Thank you for that, Rich. Appreciate that.
He makes a compelling case.
All said.
Unfortunately, I have not had a chance to test out this movie for myself yet.
Yo, watch it and like pay attention to the sets and costumes. They're amazing. I might submit Dead or Alive for best video game movie.
Man, the part where Holly Atwell, I think, where she fights like while getting dressed, is actually legitimately entertaining.
Yo, they accidentally made a good movie.
Yeah, like what I was saying about Armika, they should have embraced her butt, like just gone full butt in that game. DOA does that, where it's like, we're making a ridiculous movie, let's fucking do this. And by God, they make a ridiculous movie.
Please enjoy that movie as well.
Yes.
Please tweet us your reviews.
Yes. And then moving on from there, Luca, aka @Tyrion3 on Twitter, long time. Basically, he's been on every live telethon that we've ever had, and he's a great guy. And he's just kind of a comment for James. Said, "Hey, I enjoy the Splatoon update more because I don't have the Mario because I don't have Mario Maker. Good segments though." And just kind of tweeting at James. So James, good job.
You're welcome. Wednesday.
And then another one from Russ Greeno. Last time he talked about peanut butter and jelly. Just asking us a question about that, and he said, "Hey, I'm a fan of peanut butter and jam sandwiches as well as chip buddies."
Hey,
Buddies, what the fuck are chip buddies?
We talked about this last time. Did you already forget, man?
I did forget. What the hell are chip buddies?
French fry sandwiches.
fresh sandwich.
Maybe it didn't jump out at me until I saw the the spelling, but it definitely contains the word "but."
That's very true.
It's true.
So then from the talkback thread from Toffatant123, this is again for James. He said, "Hey, really enjoyed the JC Presents Super Mario Super Splat Party Hour. Name pending. But I'm not sure about the long-term viability of the segment, although the editing is consistently great." That's true. Thanks for me, or thanks to James, I don't know. I felt that this week it was especially on point, and I appreciate the hard work that goes into it. Yeah, so cool.
You're welcome Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
hope you enjoyed the one in this episode, which I haven't actually recorded as yet.
yes, exactly.
Cyrus, do we have some incoming news? Did you
No,
say?
I don't think so.
Cyrus, hello?
Hello?
Cyrus,
Hello.
Yes, I'm Cyrus. That's me.
you got some incoming news about Pokemons?
No, I think that's fake.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Check out check out the source on that. It's
Oh yeah. I see. Yeah, let's not go too much detail about this.
nope.
Okay, I deleted that already.
Yep.
Edit point.
So, okay. Well, I think that's pretty much going to do it for the show this week. So before we go, we're going to go ahead and give you guys our Twitter handles and all that stuff. So if you want to follow, again, the Famicast, I like to mention this multiple times on the show, you can follow us at the Famicast on Twitter. You can see it below here on the video as well. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Danny Bivens. You can follow me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. Also, there was a question about music and stuff that we use on the audio version of the show. If you ever have any questions about specific tracks or anything like that, hit me up and I can let you know what we have put in there. So, James, how about you, man?
Man, Danny Bibbs just doesn't tweet, does he?
He does not. He's been dead since 2014.
Hope he's all right.
I do too.
Yes, you can follow me at FamiComplicated. It's also my YouTube channel. So if you want to see some videos on there, please understand. And what else? I haven't really tweeted anything. Well, I just tweeted a picture of my son's bento, his lunchbox, that my
I thought that
wife.
was your bento. Now I'm disappointed.
No, I wish. I just get a bog standard, boring bento. But yeah, my son got a cool Mario themed lunchbox that my wife made out of cheese and carrot.
You should tell your wife to do that for you too. Come on, man.
Yeah. Definitely. I'll get on that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for watching and listening.
All right, and Cyrus, how about you, man?
So you can catch me at Celsci on Twitter, where I retweet a bunch of stuff and make snarky comments with the rest of my time.
Cool. And Ty, how about you, buddy?
Oh yeah, my Twitter is SuperCatDrugs.
Mm-hmm.
I tweet my odd thoughts, and I've been retweeting a lot of scrub quotes lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff. What a time to be alive.
Rich time.
Yeah.
Man, these people really come out of the woodwork when a brand new Street Fighter game comes out, which is not that often.
Yeah, sounds great.
Throw should be banned from the game.
Christ. All right. Well, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of the Famicast. Thank you guys so much for listening on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening on the podcast feed. We'll be back next month with a new episode, so take care, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.
Peace out.
Peace.
So, let's do our video.